Hey everyone, this is Mr. Randa back. We've had a little bit of time off with some education's glitches, but I believe they're fixed now, or I've been told so. Hopefully they keep that up. So anyways, we are now into factoring again. We did some in class. This is going to be the factoring sequel. Inside joke, or a little small joke, two factoring, two furious. But anyways, that was pretty stupid. So, to review, right, factoring basic quadratic equations or expressions like this, where your a term is just 1, it's really easy, right? You gotta find numbers that multiply -6, right? Add to -1. Now this sometimes finding the two numbers isn't always easy, but like you know what to do. It's simple, but maybe it's hard to find sometimes. But anyways, here it's -3 and 2, so your factors will be x minus 3 and x plus 2, and you're done. However, what if instead of this, I changed it and I stuck a 2 right there? It's not going to be the same thing. This changes everything. Not everything, but it does change what you do and make it a bit more complicated and a lot more steps. So here we go. So here's basically what happens. I gotta still find two numbers. So two numbers. That pound sign means number, not hashtag. These numbers have to multiply to a times c instead of just c, and add to b. So I need to find numbers that multiply to -6 times 2. So multiply to -12 and add to -1. Can you think of two numbers that multiply -12 and add to -1? And there they are. If you think, though, that my factors are going to be this, x minus 4 and x plus 3, you are unfortunately not correct. So I'm just going to do this one and explain myself very briefly. If you don't quite get what I'm doing here, I'll explain it again with more examples, but here I go, just kind of demonstrating what I do here. So I'm going to rewrite this. I'll use yellow this time. So 2x squared minus 4x plus 3x minus 6. Again, this is a different method than the simpler versions we did last week. Okay, I'm going to factor both of these separately. So this first half, 2x comes out, and x minus 2 stays in. Then this half, 3 comes out, a positive 3, and x minus 2 is left over. Therefore, my factors are 2x plus 3 and x minus 2. This right here will FOIL back to what I started with, which was the 2x squared minus x minus 6. This is my factor. So there's these steps right here where I'm scribbling this blue pen. This is stuff that's new. That wasn't involved before when it was simple, right? When you only had 1 for your a term. Now that I have something else, it becomes different. So here now I'm going to give you the step-by-step so you can take notes on this. So when you factor a quadratic expression, when a is not 1, so this is new now, you got to find two numbers. So the game's still find numbers, but instead of just multiplying to c, it's a times c. So you got to take your a and c, multiply them together, and your numbers have to multiply to that product, but still add to your middle term. Once you do that, you're going to actually split your b term into both of those numbers found. If I'm going too fast, guys, pause it, go back, do what you got to do. Anyways, and then factor each half of your expression. You're going to have, you saw on the last one here that, whoops, too far, I had 4 things, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I factored these two, the first half, and these two, the second half, and then from what I had there, pulled it apart. Okay, and then once you factored both sides, you should see that you have something like this, the same factor on both sides. You reorganize it. So here I had all this stuff here. I basically pulled out the x minus 2's right there, and then 2x plus 3 was left here. So that's the step 4, the reorganizing of what I have, and then I'm finished. Okay, here's an example. So I have 4x squared minus 4x minus 15. So again, we know that a is 4 and B is negative 4, and C is negative 15. So I gotta find my two numbers, and I'll do it in brown here. So two numbers, these need to multiply to negative 60 because it's 4 times negative 15, and add to negative 4. So can you think of anything that multiplies negative 60 and adds to negative 4? If you did, great. If you didn't, here's your help. Negative 10, positive 6. Okay, so negative 10, 6, those are my magic numbers I'm going to use. But again, I'm not going to just make it x minus 10, x plus 6. Instead, I'm going to split apart the middle term, that b term, into negative 10x plus 6x. And I have that minus 15 at the end. So look, if I take negative 10 plus 6, I get negative 4. So those two numbers I found, once I add to negative 4, I'm just going to change this to be negative 10 plus 6. Same thing, just looks different. Now I factor both parts. So in this part, the 4x squared minus 10x, what comes out? Well, 2 comes out. A 2 comes out, and so is an x. I'm left with 2x minus 5. Over here, a 3 comes out, a positive 3, and I'm left with 2x minus 5. So what this means is my factors, so my final answer is 2x plus 3, right here. That's one factor, and the 2x minus 5 is the other factor. Because basically I just factored out the 2x minus 5 from both of these, and this was left the 2x plus 3 here. So these are my two factors. This right here that I'm currently over will FOIL to be the 4x squared minus 4x minus 15. So there's one done. Here's another one. So I have 4x squared plus 12x plus 9. I want two numbers that multiply to a times c. So multiply 36 and add to 12. So think, what multiplies 36 adds to 12? Hopefully you got this. If you need to pause it and figure it out, go for it. Otherwise, I'll tell you right now, here we go, that the numbers are 6 and 6. All right, 6 times 6, 36. 6 plus 6 is 12. So all I do is rewrite this. So I have 4x squared. And then instead of plus 12x, write it as plus 6x plus 6x. And then the c comes down also. Just change it, right? 6 plus 6 is still 12. It's no different, just looks different. Now I factor both halves. So I'll do that in green this time. So this first half, the first two things, what comes out? 2x comes out. What's left? Not x, but 2x, because divide 4 by 2. 2x plus 3. And then over here, a plus 3 comes out. And what's left? Why, 2x plus 3. So this one actually has 2x plus 3 that comes out. And by coincidence, what's left over? Well, it looks like 2x plus 3. So this one, just by coincidence, has the same factor twice. This is your factored answer. You could also rewrite this as 2x plus 3 squared, right? Multiplied by itself. So there's two done. Again, we'll do a lot more in-class practice. You've already done some, hopefully. So just take this in, have good notes on this, come to class with questions, and we will get them answered. That's my job, after all. Here's a third example. So this one. Before you think about the method, just look at both of these. What's contained in both of these? I have 11x squared and plus 55. So before I do anything here with this example, what's in common in both those terms? Hopefully you see 11's in common in both those terms. So I can take on 11 right away. X squared plus 5 is left over. So I just divide both of these terms by 11. So anytime you factor anything, always look for common terms or common factors first. Okay, before you even do these methods, look for common factors, because if you find common factors, like I just did, you make what you have left with smaller, much easier. And by the way, this one, I'm done here, because x squared plus 5, I can't factor anymore, not in a nice way at least. So here you go. Just an example that look for common factors first before you go on to other things. Okay, so that's it for now, guys. Thanks for keeping up with this and having good notes. Let's have a good class next time I see you. And see you for now.